For one last video on chapter 27, the communication accommodation theory. This theory ultimately states that um, when we talk to other people, we find ourselves mimicking their communication patterns instead of using our set of standards or guidelines that we generally use. Sometimes I see this often from people I know from the church that maybe they don't I don't know them to swear ever, and then I find them outside of the church and they're with a group of friends or something, especially being a youth leader, and I find maybe one of my students um, with a group of friends, and if that group of friends, if I hear them swearing, all of a sudden maybe that kid that I know from the youth group from the church will also start swearing, just because, as it says, when two speakers come together, they can shift their communication style. So, he's shifting his over to their style of communication, which is a little more vulgar than one that he may usually use, especially coming from a church background. One of the things that I find is best when I deal with this sometimes when you talk to students and stuff, you need to learn, especially at a younger age, something that's very hard at a young age too, though, that you need to be able to know yourself. It's almost like a self-esteem issue, where if you have self-confidence, self-esteem in yourself, in the way that you talk and the way that you live your life, you don't find yourself shifting to the other side or shifting to the other ways of communication. So really, I think that one of the practical things that we could do is, especially in communications, is that if you have self-confidence and self-esteem and a good self-esteem, you would have more relatable and more original communication, something that's not more shifted towards fitting in with a group, more that it'll be more putting yourself out in a way that you truly believe. And I think that would be more applicable to society.